All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Man versus Milk Fire Edition. And we are outside, and it's very dark, and we're staying warm with the fire. And with us, we have Marcus.
Hello.
Hello, Marcus.
Hello.
And we also have this guy is over here. This guy, he knows the ones and the twos, and he goes number one and number two quite a bit too. And his name is Jake Massey. Welcome, Jake Massey, everybody.
What's up, Cole?
What's up?
You should have said Marcus Lapp. That's his full name.
Oh,
How did you introduce me as?
I just say Marcus.
Yeah.
I didn't.
He didn't even know
Marcus
my last.
is
I didn't know your last name.
Marcus is a famous musician.
This is not
Yeah,
true.
He's the most famous musician I know. He has 500,000 streams on Spotify. That's the most famous.
You don't know
guy I
anybody else who has?
More than that? I don't think I don't know anybody, dude.
Me neither.
You're the most famous guy I know, and you're nobody.
This is very true.
But yeah, Marcus is a great artist, and he goes by AZAP.
AZAP.
And he has a YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
He teaches production. It's called the Indie Music Lab.
Mm-hmm.
What the heck else are you up to, Marcus?
Yes.
I don't know. Not much, man.
Jerking it.
Jerking it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, this is going swimmingly.
Well, yeah. We just wanted to gather you here and chat.
Little
This is your
fireside chat. Oh,
Yeah,
this
it's
is.
a little-
Oh, I got
I'm
cucked
just
into this. Yeah.
So, are you doing Sober October? This October?
No. Well, I don't know if I've had a drink in October yet. I haven't. Well, so far I have. I'm being sober, but unintentionally. So,
Mhm.
yeah. No, I don't drink that much, so I just
So
hasn't.
it's just
I haven't
not-
thought about it.
do the Amish drink alcohol? They don't drink alcohol.
No, they. Once in a great while, they'll drink some wine. Wine is about. You can drink a little bit of wine and it might not be a sin, but you drink more than about 2 ounces of beer, it starts to like border
Then
on
it's
like
sin.
half a sin or something like that.
Half a sin.
It's like
Yeah.
3/8 of a sin. So
Yeah, because God
it's-
told Noah not. He drank too much after
Wait.
he crashed the boat. Right? Crashed the boat, and then he went in a cave and got hammered on wine.
That's right. I forgot
right?
about
And
that
God was
story.
like, what the heck are you doing?
I forgot about that one.
So that's probably why. Marcus
No
grew
worries.
up Amish.
Yeah.
Yeah, until he was a young lad.
So, what age were you when you
I was 12.
12?
Yeah.
Damn.
But it was more of like a. It wasn't so even though I left the Amish when I was 12 because my parents left,
Mhm.
it was still from 12 to about all the way up into 18, 19. It was a slow process of being slightly less Amish every year. So it's not like you go from Amish to then, oh, hey, I'm a normal American now.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was so. Were you guys? Was it like? Did you know it was coming that you guys were leaving, or was it just like in the middle of the night? She was like, "Grab your things, Marcus. Grab your abacus and your blanket. We're getting out of here." I don't know what things you had.
Grab
Yeah.
the horse and let's go.
Yeah, there was enough of a warning process involved. So there was a few months where
Where you guys were scheming.
You guys planning? Did
What-
you guys write it down on like paper? Like
no,
Like chicken
I wasn't
run?
really involved, to be honest with you, which is
Right.
fine. I didn't. It's not like
Mhm.
I wanted to be, but no, it was a few month period where there was a lot of friction
Mhm.
and church politics going on at the time. This is like 2009, I think, 2008.
Because
And-
they're like trying to keep you guys around, right? If they sense you're.
Did they?
No, it was more so my dad started believing some things that they thought were wrong. And so he wasn't willing to confess that they were wrong. And so it was more of an intervention type thing. I was like, "Hey, confess you're wrong and you can stay with the club,
Yeah.
or say nothing and we'll kick you out." It was
Oh,
that
so you guys
type of
got
thing.
booted?
Yeah.
So what did he do that was wrong?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a combination of things. I think the main one was he'd secretly gotten baptized outside of the Amish church. So in the Amish, they'll baptize you when you're, say, 18, 19, but it's just a little, like, flipper over the head, a little water, just a little drip, drip action going on.
Drip, drip,
Your
not
dad
the
was
full
like, I need to
bathe.
double up on these.
Yeah. So he was
I need
like,
to bathe in the holy
I need to go all in on this. And so he secretly got baptized. And but then, of course, they found out somehow. I don't even know how the word.
They're like, you
Spread.
smell cleaner than the rest.
Yeah.
Something's up, pal.
Yeah.
Where have you been?
Yeah. And then I think that was the main. It was such a long time ago. I barely think about it. So I'm trying to recollect the story. But
It's like people always say this about Marcus, that like they never would pin him for an Amish guy, because the only Amish thing about him is that he's got particulars about butter, and he hasn't seen any movie.
true on both counts.
So
I love me some butter.
when did you start sowing the seeds of like, I'm gonna do music instead of I don't know, did you have an original plan as a young Amish boy? What was your dream? What did you want to be when you grew up?
Well, when you're Amish, you don't really have dreams. You just.
I thought all you would do was have dreams on the farm.
Well, to the extent that you have dreams, it's of not dying so you can work on a construction crew 12 hours a day
Right.
and build barns.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very, very high, and usually that'll happen at about 16 years old, 15 even. You have young kids, they'll immediately go, like the boys, they'll immediately go into some type of construction work.
Huh.
And often their dads are already in it, like they already have a gateway right into it. And so they'll start working for their dad, or their dad already works for somebody, and they'll just tag along and start immediately in the workforce at like 15.
I mean, that's what I did when my dad does construction. When I was like a 14-year-old lad, I was out there putting up studs.
And it's funny. Okay, but to answer how that got started, it was not long. So I was 12 when my parents left, but then I picked up the piano when I was 13. And I
When did you start playing it?
That would have been, what, like 2012? 2013? Or
Is
wait.
that your main instrument of expertise now? The piano?
Wait, no, that was 2009, 2010. I was thinking way off on my... Yeah, so I started on both piano and acoustic guitar pretty much at the same time. Although we had a big-ass piano in the living room.
Yeah.
Like a super loud one.
Grand piano?
No, it was an upright one, but...
Nice.
Yeah, it made the whole
Those are the
house
best.
ring, man. It was fun. But
Nothing
I was
feels better.
homeschooled at the time, and so that was perfect, because then I barely did school, and I just played piano all day
That's
for
awesome.
a couple years after, because I was in the Amish school, which is wild in its own way.
Does it go all the way up to high school, or does it? I think because
Yeah.
I'm sure it's different by community or whatever, but like some of them, I think they only go to 8th grade, and then they're like, that's
8th
enough
grade.
learning.
It's
It's
8th
enough
grade.
Time for working.
It's basically 8th grade, because technically there is a 9th grade, but it's only a once-a-week meeting. Once-a-week school.
Huh.
Just for a couple hours for the 9th graders, and then you're done. So it's essentially an 8th grade education.
So are they teaching you like skills, or is it?
Or you
more
guys
like,
like what kind of
history, or-
science
yeah,
are they
what
talking
kind
about in there?
Yeah.
Are they
How
saying
far
the
they
word
got with
science?
Yeah, there's a little bit of science.
I mean, you guys
These
usually
are the types of things I didn't
Yeah.
pay that close attention, so I'm trying to actually remember, because I didn't really care about school, so my grades weren't that good. Because nobody really cared.
no one cared and no one tried hard at Amish.
There were a couple
No, I'm
people.
trying.
There were a couple people who were like, "I want to get good grades," but
Yeah, but does that transfer to? Because I guess for like, the English, you're
Yes.
trying to get good grades to like get into college.
Mhm.
But unless your plan is to bail, then I guess there's no point in having good grades, right? Like,
yeah.
if you're
There's
just
no real scoring value in good grades outside of once you leave school. there's no one looks at your grades and say, how did you do in school? Okay, we'll hire you. We won't hire you.
Yeah.
That just doesn't. It's a very irrelevant factor.
How big was the school? Was it like Little House on the Prairie?
Yeah, it's like
Something?
20 in the 20s students. One teacher mostly.
wow.
Sometimes a helper.
Chalkboard?
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
big chalkboard, man.
Big old chalkboard.
Yeah.
Well, there's
did
no
it
projector.
Yeah,
yeah.
There were like those chalkboards that are, I don't know, 6 feet wide, 6 feet high. Maybe slightly less. Maybe I'm misremembering that. But there were like 3 or 4 just back to back to back,
Did you ever draw
or
a
side
naughty
to side,
picture?
just like lined up.
Did you ever draw like a naughty picture on the chalkboard? Or like anything
man,
like
not anything.
Frank.
Not that I can really remember.
Did anyone ever draw a penis on the chalkboard?
No,
That's
I
what
don't.
it's
Not
called.
that I remember. We were pretty. That was, even for an Amish kid, that's pretty over the line.
Yeah, our Amish kids, because like for
They'll
some
push
reason,
the boundaries. Some kids just based
Yeah,
on
what is-
personality, obviously, just like
Right.
anywhere. But yeah, it depends.
But obviously there's different levels of acting up.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so like, what's the rowdiest? What are the rowdiest lads doing? Why do I
Like
don't know why I keep
school-age
saying
kids?
Yeah,
Man, these are all memories that I have not tapped into in like 13 years.
I'm trying to tap that, Marcus.
we're trying to tap that memory.
I would say, I mean, there's nothing really that stands out as being this is what the rowdy kids do. It's just more like they'll misbehave and they'll just,
Yeah,
they won't follow orders and they'll just be aloof and they'll build their own clan
Yeah.
of the rebellious group. Just like with any,
How were farts
like
treated
you
in
put
the
30
classroom?
kids.
Were farts
It's
because that's a pretty like across all people.
Yeah.
Farts are the funniest thing in the classroom.
I don't think they're funny. Dude.
What?
I just don't think
you're
they're
just
funny.
the one guy that.
I'm just the one guy that doesn't think.
I
that's
mean, when
funny.
you're 11 years old, it's kind of fun.
I honestly feel like the older I've gotten, though, the more I've thought it's funny. Like the less
So you're
squeamish I've
aging
gotten.
in reverse. You're
Yeah.
getting younger by
Yeah.
the day.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Your mic's cutting out, man.
Oh,
How dare you.
shucks.
I'm just saying the fart. This is what the joke I was gonna say.
Yeah.
The farts are really just the ghost of shit to come. That's what I say.
You should say something else. Should use your words in a different way.
But damn.
But yeah, like, well, like, because when I was in school, there was like different, like trends of miscreants. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
kids would, we had a phase where everyone was like slapping each other on the necks.
Yeah.
You know, and we had a phase where everyone was making hornets, like these little pieces, like you put like staples in paper and then like shoot them at each other with rubber bands and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And like all kinds of like weapon phases and stuff. And then we would like, make fake gangs. Stupid stuff.
Yeah.
So I just
Dude,
don't know
when
if
you're
you
10
guys,
years old, yeah, we had that to a degree,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
but
Well, I guess
if
with
you
20
can be
kids,
a part of a gang when you're 10 years old, man, you feel like
feel
you've made
alive.
it as a
Yeah.
person.
Or just a club.
Yeah.
Like you got having a little secret fort in the woods.
Oh yeah.
And then be like, we're not going to let any girls in this thing.
There's no girls in here, only boys. Only us smelly boys together.
Yeah.
Hold it around, talking
Oh,
about
yeah.
boobs. No girls around.
Man, I actually can't hear it cold at all with my headphones off. I've just been nodding.
So you, this must be an enjoyable experience for you, Jake.
Yeah.
Yeah, in school we always had that fucking kid that would like stick you up the bum with a finger. You guys ever had that?
No.
Would get you with the little bum.
I feel
thumb.
like I was pretty lucky throughout. So I was in the Amish school through 7th grade, and then that's when my parents left the Amish, and so I was homeschooled from 8th grade through high school.
Mhm.
But during my Amish school era, because you know how it goes, you only need one messed up kid to fuck everything up, or
Yeah.
to start a trend like that.
Like
Yeah.
Hitler.
You only need one Hitler, exactly. So you don't really. Throughout my years, there wasn't really anybody that really stood out as being the absolute asshole that would make everybody else's lives miserable.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the guy who declined Hitler from art school, like the whole time the World War was going on, he was like, "Oh shoot, oh gosh."
If I only said his self-portrait looked good.
Yeah.
You think he drew self-portraits, Hitler?
No,
I mean, he was
I
definitely narcissist.
don't think he had this. I think he was like.
I think he was a very humble guy, actually.
No, I think he was like a self-hating narcissist, and then he flipped and became a "I'm the shit" narcissist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when he put the paintbrush down and picked up the gun or whatever, I don't know.
Picked up the swastika.
Yeah,
Armband.
I mean, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one thing, though, for some reason, when it came to history and science, things of that nature, I didn't really get taught. I didn't really get taught anything about World War II as a kid, like at all.
But you knew it happened, right?
I kind of knew it happened. I just knew the name Hitler was bad,
Right.
and that's basically all I knew until I was like 13. Yeah.
So there was no history at all, or was it was just like Bible history and.
It was mostly just Bible history, but then a little bit of American history, and that's it. Yeah.
Just the American history part where everyone was Amish.
Yeah.
Because you guys kind of hit the pause button on civilization. You're like, all right, well, we're cool here.
That is true. That's how it is. Very strange the way that it worked, because when the Amish people came over, there were a couple different times when you had a flood of them come over from Germany and Switzerland.
Mm-hmm.
And both times it was only, or not both times, I guess it was more times than that, but it was usually between 500 and maybe 1,000 people on a few different trips. So it was not that large. It was not exactly a large number of people. And when they came over, this is like the late 1700s, early 1800s, they were pretty much like everybody else in terms of the culture. They didn't stand out. But that's a very accurate way of putting it. Just they hit the brakes while everyone else kept hitting the gas pedal at some point, like in the 1900s.
True.
And it is like, it's interesting like how the different communities are selective in what is Amish and what's not, I guess, or what's allowed, like how much English stuff you can have or use.
Yeah.
Because like there's buggies with like a bunch of lights and blinkers and stuff on them, and
Horns?
like,
Do they have horns?
I think they have. I mean, you could make a acoustic horn. That would probably
Yeah,
not
they
break
have
the
horns.
rules.
Just play
Some
a
of them
French
have,
horn.
not all of them, but some of them have horns that you can install. And
A
they have
bassoon on the front of your.
Yeah. And dude, especially, dude, my older brothers, because they were Amish in their teenage years when I was growing up, a couple of them, they had whole stereo systems in their buggies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that seems like cheating.
Well, no, but they were like 18 years old, 17
So they
years
were
old.
like.
They were in the
basically out.
Rumspringa phase, and so
When is Rumspringa start? I was just about to ask that.
like 16.
16.
Yeah, that's the standard age.
And that's just like Oktoberfest almost? Or what is Rumspringa? Because I still...
Well, Rumspringa is vaguely, you in some ways allow your kids to just go out into the world and drink beer and smoke and have fun.
Mhm.
Or at least that's the idea.
Mhm.
And
Can you
there
have
are
sex?
some community. No. That's it's like everything but sex.
Butts. You can have butt sex. Everything's
I
butts.
think- yeah.
Butt sex.
No, they don't. I mean, that's everything but that, really.
Yeah,
Feeling
I mean that
about
makes
that.
sense. I'd be like,
It's
ga-
one of the I
do-
mean, it happens.
do Amish
but
gamble?
It's so taboo, just because
Yeah.
when you're raised to the extreme, and you know, there are plenty of people like in this country and worldwide who understand that, whether you whether you grew up Baptist or anything like that, where there's that too. But with the Amish, it's on another level.
Right.
You don't ever talk about it, and it is just to get to the point where you actually have sex with someone. There's so many barriers to cross
Right.
outside of just the.
It's strictly
natural-
for bearing children, right?
Or yeah, I mean, are they love making?
Are they making love?
Did your parents make love, Marcus?
Well, I have 8 siblings, so there's something happening. But I think that actually has become a bit more accepted in terms of the way people view it. But
Plowing.
obviously, it's only within the context of marriage that it is ever looked upon.
Right, because what kind of contraception would be allowed? Because I mean, like obviously, I assume no one's taking the pill or like getting IUDs or
Mhm.
Yeah.
stuff like that. So if you're not gonna be trying for a kid, then you just want to hang out. Like, what would you do? Sheepskin or like the old?
Sheepskin condom.
Yeah,
I don't know. This is one of those things you don't really talk to.
That's true.
They don't really talk about these things.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm sure there's a periphery percentage of Amish people who actually are on the pill.
Hmm.
And then they're like, okay, let's.
Because that.
But it's just they just don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Because there's a whole spectrum of people who truly go all in, and others who are just going through the motions, and just being like, well, I'm Amish, but also if I'm out of town, I can drink a beer. It's really funny. It's like when you take them outside of their normal context, their normal environment. For example, when I was working construction for a couple years, this is when I was 19, 20 years old, we had a job up in New York State, which is like 3-4 hours away from where we lived. And so we stayed at a hotel that night. And so you had a couple married Amish guys who were just with us and then we stayed at the hotel because we stayed for a couple days, and they had a good time, drank a couple beers to wind down after the hard day of work. And but it seems like it's fine because you're just not in your natural home environment anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Letting loose.
Yeah.
Let loose.
Letting loose at the Motel 6.
Exactly. I think it literally was a Motel 6.
Yeah. That's fun. I mean, yeah, because I guess there's a lot of sneaky stuff you could get away with, like popping a couple
Mhm.
preggy pills and
For
all
sure.
that.
Yeah.
Did you jerk off to your imagination for a while?
Yeah, what were you doing, Marcus? Because
Yeah.
you didn't have the internet. Did you go in the woods and find a tree that resembles a woman's bosom? And
Nah. Well, see, I didn't even know what jerking off was until after we left the Amish.
that's fair. I guess you were 13. That's like around
Yeah.
age.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We'll have to ask his brothers
That's because of brothers.
about jerk. Can you call your brothers so we can ask? Jerk.
That would be sad. That would be a sad conversation.
Let's talk about jerking off.
I just called my brother called me on the way here and we were talking about shitting our pants. Yeah, let's talk about something else. I'm sorry.
I was hoping we could expand on this shitting on pants.
No, I literally was going to do
topic.
3s. Yes, I was going to do the set at the comedy club yesterday.
Yeah.
And I went to the bathroom. Cole was on, and I was going to go on right after him. And I went to the bathroom and to pee, and I shit my pants, and I had to go home.
That's how good I was.
Oh, damn.
Jake heard the
He
vibe
just
from the
killed
fucking
it, and
bathroom.
Jake
I
was like,
fucking
Oh
pissed.
gosh, Cole is crushing up there. I could never follow this. No, there was like 3 people.
It was 3 people.
I was thinking about leaving anyway. I almost feel like they thought I lied about shitting my pants just to get out of going up. But
That is a valid excuse. You don't want to be poop pants on stage.
no.
Yeah.
There's people who are curious about what the smell of that is.
This guy really stinks.
But his jokes are good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do find it funny that people. I just can't remember ever truly shitting my pants outside of being in a diaper.
I've only
Although
done
I'm sure
You
when I was
remember
like,
the diaper shit?
yeah, my memory's really good. No, I don't remember.
Did
the
you guys
diaper
wear
shit.
diapers?
Yeah.
And were they like
Although when I was
campers, or they like
when I was a kid, see, there are these modern Amish. See, these modern Amish, they use real Pampers. They use Uber. Like, they're really blurring the lines here.
Yeah, I wonder.
These modern Amish people.
Yeah, so like when the
And
Yo,
he's
right,
gone.
Did you break that?
No, it just fell back.
Oh,
and now I'm here for the rest of the podcast.
You're probably out of frame.
Cole is just keeping his cool over here.
You guys made me laugh so hard I fucking fell off my chair.
I forgot what we were talking about. Amish guys.
We were talking about shit.
Oh yeah, because no, like what kind of like, because like in some churches, you know, the modern churches or whatever, they'll be talking shit about whatever's going on in the world, you know. So is that what they're talking about in the Amish? Or like, there's some of these modern Amish around here that are say it's okay to use an abacus or whatever, you know? Like, is that?
Well, see, here's the thing. The Amish church still, when you have church, you still do it in German. So nobody understands what the fuck's going on, which is great because you don't know what the sins are. You don't know what's right, what's wrong. You just go to church and you're
Can't
told
use Google Translate.
You're
That's
you're just
wild.
told that this is
But did they teach German in school?
a little bit, not enough
But
to
not enough to understand.
remember. Everything else is in English in school.
Yeah.
But the origins of that is interesting. It's a classic example of how tradition perpetuates over time, because the reason that it started that way is because when they came over, there was the whole argument of the separation of church and state. And so when they came over to America, they were like, we don't want to speak the same language of the people here. We want to retain a language that is different, because in their minds it made sense as a way of combating the idea that, or as a way of protecting themselves against the state so that they could be free from the state. And then that ended up turning into a tradition that you shouldn't break, because then the slippery slope idea comes in where it's like, well, if we stop speaking German, if everything's English, then in 2 weeks, like, the guys will be in strip clubs and we'll be doing, you know, it's a slippery slope idea.
Yeah, and that's like the whole point of being Amish, right? Is the slippery slope.
Yeah.
Instead of
that's
just,
why we don't drive cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where we're so slow in accepting.
Right.
We're always like 30 years behind. We have all the things
30.
people had in the 80s. But
So no DUIs. That's pretty good.
I think you can get a DUI driving a buggy.
Really?
I think I've seen
I
like
think
some
so.
News articles of
Yeah,
like Amish
but the
DUI.
funny thing is, like, what does that matter? You're not going to drive a car anyway. Like,
And they're
That's
like,
true.
the
I guess
horse
there's a
knows
fine.
his way home.
there's a DUI fine, but
What do you have to drive if you get a DUI and they take your buggy license away?
How do you breathalyze
Yeah.
your? They just have to train the horse.
yeah. No, there's nothing you can really do. It's just, hey, here's a fine, pay this, and then you're off on your merry way after
But
that.
because I mean, I guess maybe it depends on the community too. But you guys don't have like social security numbers, right? It's your
No, we have the numbers.
Okay.
We have, yeah, like I have a social security card and everything.
Yeah.
That, yeah, because I think in the 60s or something.
Were you born in a hospital?
I was born at home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Water baby?
That's what's
Water baby.
Your water baby just comes
Yeah.
spurting out.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool.
in the
My
metal
mom
tub.
wanted to do that.
In the tub, man.
Dang. And were you like Jesus in the barn?
No, that would have been cooler though.
Yeah.
It would have probably smelled better too.
Oh,
Get visited by
Jesus.
3
What?
wise men.
Yeah, and just more variation in the smells in the environment of a barn.
Are you talking about you remember being born?
I'm just saying if I did.
But you don't, so what does it matter? It's like honestly probably a blessing that you can't remember the first like 2 years of your life, because it's probably a lot of, I mean, you come out, you're just bawling in agony like
Right.
half your time, right?
Yeah.
So,
It is a very traumatic experience. I
and
presume.
being born has to be extremely traumatic. Like,
Right.
Yeah. That's probably what we all forgot.
Yeah.
We're just like, I can't remember this
I'm not
shit.
remembering
I'm
what the
not-
inside of my mother's pussy looks like. Let me wipe that shit clean for a minute.
Oh, God.
I'm curious. Is there autism in the Amish community?
That is such a good question. It's pretty rare.
Mm-hmm.
It's there for sure. But it's funny because
Do they believe in autism, or like is that?
if it's bad enough, it has to it has to be very obvious.
Okay.
It can't be.
You can't
It-
just
it-
be one of these guys that's a little shy.
No,
Don't go around telling everybody you're autistic.
Exactly.
This guy's way too
exactly.
fucking shy.
Like I didn't know what even autistic meant until I was 15 or something.
Yeah.
Because it's only really the only people that you would look at as being kind of different than you. Like autism wasn't a term I would ever
Mhm.
hear, but it would just be Down's people. Down syndrome. That's
Right.
all I
'Cause that's-
remember.
Down syndrome is more obvious.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
But that's the only thing that I
You
remember.
can't deny.
Remember as a
deny
kid.
Down syndrome. Be like,
This shit fake. This shit's
Yeah.
fake.
Yeah.
How many people had Down syndrome in the Amish community?
Surprisingly lower percentage than you would expect.
Huh.
I mean, I imagine they're generally pretty healthy. Like you're making all your
Mhm.
own food and working a lot. And,
Yeah.
you know, getting sunshine.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, what is the science behind this, though? So
If
if
you're
you're
human, I
so
don't know.
so the healthy you are, so if you're a woman, the healthier you are, the less chance that your
I have
kid
no idea.
has
I think
Down
that's-
syndrome.
I think if the less, I don't know about Down syndrome, but definitely the less healthy you are, the higher percentage of birth defects. Like
Right.
obviously fetal.
I mean, that would make
syndrome
sense.
and all
I
that
just
stuff.
I just didn't know if it was more genetic or if it was more.
But I think Down syndrome might just be, you know, heretical, like genetic and
Yeah.
Mhm.
percentage. Like I'm no science
Yeah.
guy.
Me neither. Yeah, I think it is mostly genetic, though. If I had to make an educated guess, I would say it's mostly
Yeah.
genetics.
Yeah,
Down
it's like
syndrome
what,
is.
like 70% of your family.
Wonder how early, like the.
I'm sorry.
I do have.
Those guys are great.
I do have a cousin with Down syndrome.
Yeah, those guys are great. Down syndrome people, not Cole's family.
Hey,
No, Cole's family seems nice.
you haven't even fucking met them.
I've heard him on the
Yeah.
phone a couple times.
We do like ice cream a lot.
Okay.
So is this a stereotypical food to like for Down syndrome people?
I think that's
just
like
everybody likes
It's what I thought.
ice
It's like
cream.
true.
that's
Dude,
kinda-
what's the rate of lactose intolerance in the Amish community?
That
'Cause
is.
that would
I'm
be
so glad you.
Ooh,
I'm
yeah.
so glad you brought this up. I also never heard of that until I left the Amish.
Yeah, because that would,
And everybody drinks milk, so it's
Right.
more so. Of course, I'm sure they have it, or some people are more sensitive to it. Although, when you're Amish, for the most part, you don't drink store-bought milk. You drink raw milk.
right.
So there's much less of the processing that the milk goes through that we buy in stores.
Yeah, and maybe that I haven't really read the data on if that messes with the lactose, because like I mean, in America and Europe pasteurize milk differently. Like America pasteurizes it for a short time and at a high
Mhm.
temperature because we're about efficiency. In Europe, they do it like at a low temperature for a long time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I don't know if you guys drank the milk when you were in Europe, but it has more of like a cow kind of aftertaste, like the way a cow smells.
Probably why I liked it so much. The
Yeah,
lattes I had over there, although the coffee in London is shit.
Mm.
But
I know I was pounding.
I
milk.
had a couple. I enjoyed the milk I drank in London.
Yeah,
It was nice.
I was drinking. I mean, I was in Ireland. I don't know if it's the same.
Yeah.
But like, the more I drank it, the more I liked it. But at first, I was like, this is weird. And I don't know. Cold. I wish we had a Googler guy.
Yeah, where's our fucking
Like,
Yeah,
lactose
where's-
intolerance and Amish community?
Will you be our Jamie?
You're-
Let me
versus
fucking look at
America.
this up. Let me actually Google this. Lactose
Um,
intolerance in the fucking Amish community.
Who's doing that research? Somebody
Yeah.
gotta be.
I don't. Yeah.
Because if you were
I would've
lactose
kinda-
intolerant and Amish, that would be devastating, right?
Yeah, that's probably something you would keep to yourself. You wouldn't tell people
Yeah.
because one, they have no idea what it means, and then two, if you try to explain it, it would make you look like a cuck. So.
Hmm.
Yeah.
A cock.
I mean, but
Just sitting in the corner drinking water. You fucking cock. You're not drinking the fucking milk that we made for you, pussy.
But it's also funny that like milk makes you strong or whatever, but then like milk drinker is like a calling somebody a pussy in the old days.
Really?
Maybe it's just calling
This
you a
is
baby.
new to
like
me.
a
I
breast
haven't.
milk. You guys never heard this?
I've never heard that people who drink milk are called pussies.
Like this is like medieval times. I'm thinking of maybe. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm just getting this from like Skyrim or something.
Probably because those were like the two options was like wine and milk and water. Ale, wine, and milk. Then the milk is like probably like the lowest tier.
Nah, milk would probably be the best.
It's
dude.
probably the best for you, but
No, I think it would be I think a glass of milk will be because I mean they talk about like in the Bible they're like the land of milk and honey.
Right.
They're not like the land of
ale and honey.
Yeah. So, because in the fresh, they like think before fridges, you couldn't hang out with your milk, and freaking what we were just talking pasteurization. It only lasts like 10 seconds, so probably you're drinking it fresh from the other, and you're like, and the other stuff keeps. I don't know.
supposedly lactose intolerance spread through ancient European populations that
Like the
depended
plague.
on dairying. I don't think I've ever heard that before. Supposedly it's most prevalent in East Asian people. There's not much on the lactose intolerance of Amish people. I think because you guys just probably built that shit
The
up,
research
dude.
is lacking on
Yeah,
lactose.
I think part of it is like
we're just
you,
in
like,
denial too. Even if we have it, we still drink milk. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
We're
just shit
alcoholics.
a lot.
Yeah.
Whoops.
I love dairy so much, and I'm lactose intolerant now. It turned on me though. Like I was pounding milk every day till I was like 22, and then all of a sudden I was just like,
Just
what is
hit you.
happening?
I think it like as soon as you grow out of the phase where you can like drink it from your mom, then it kind of like goes away. Like and then the lactose intolerance comes in. I think that's part of the
You got a
science
phase of
behind it.
drinking what?
Just drinking titty milk. You like
Oh,
once you
you're
graduate from
only
titty
supposed to be
milk,
lactose intolerant for those years, and then
Yeah.
God's like, no more.
the God's like enough, dude.
Yeah. No, I don't know, man. It's a great bird.
Okay, are you able to eat? I think I asked you this before, but you're kind of okay with cheese and things like that,
Yeah.
right? Just
I mean,
as long as you don't eat
honestly,
too much of it.
My stomach pretty much hurts, and I feel bad all the time, so I kind of just do whatever.
Yeah.
But it's really like a sody pop will like ruin my day for like 2 days.
Oh,
like I
damn.
can get away with a milkshake usually, but like
Soda is worse, or candy or something like that is even worse than lactose.
Candy's fine, I guess, but soda's the worst. I think it's like the carbonation, the caffeine, and the sugar all in one or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. But like my life is a Humira commercial, dude. When I drink sody pop, because like I've had so many gigs that I've been like late to and stuff because I drink a sody pop 3 days before, and I'm like in the bathroom, and I'm supposed to be in the car.
Oh, man.
So yeah, I gotta lay off those. I mean, I only have like
Lay off
3
the
a year,
suds, man.
but every time it's like a disaster.
3 sody pops. It is funny that like we use different terminology for that. Like either soda or pop. Pop's more East Coast, right? Soda's more West Coast.
Might be. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not a good example of what actually goes on in the East Coast. I was in an insulated culture growing up, so we would call it soda.
Yeah,
It's
we call
soda.
it soda too. I like saying soda.
We didn't really
pop.
say pop or soda.
Pop is
or
so
anything.
funny to me.
Pop.
Let's
Yeah.
get some pop.
Get some pop.
Yeah.
What time are we at? How long are we at?
I don't know.
No
It's
fucking clue.
8:06 right now. I think we started around like
So like 7:15,
7:20ish,
7:20.
around then. We can keep going if we have anything else.
Marcus, you got anything you want to share? You got any songs coming
Let me
out?
pour my heart out to you now.
You got any songs
sing-songies?
in the works?
I
on the
wish.
release
I mean, I
radar?
I have songs on the radar. It's just been I've just been working a lot on trying to make the Indie Music Lab YouTube channel and website, everything in the back end of all of that work. So I've been pretty taken up with that of late, and just in an attempt to. And then if I'm not doing that, usually I'll be doing my part-time gig, like driving Uber and Lyft and that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, sometimes you just gotta make money.
Yeah.
To pay the fucking rent.
Do you make a lot of money up from the YouTube channel, from ads and stuff, or?
That's a low percentage of the income. Most of it is going to come from online courses. So programs, it's the type of thing where you know, I have one on vocals where I do a whole deep dive on, you know, 5 modules deep of actually making sure you get a good take, how to record it, and then edit it, mix it, and then and then at the end how to polish it up so that it sounds like the songs you hear on the radio and all of that type of stuff.
Can me and Cole both guess how much money you've made from streaming? Do you know?
Oh, from streaming?
Yeah.
From like 500,000 streams?
Yeah, what is it? It's probably
it's more like
300 grand.
It's like 320,000 streams.
No, it's not, dude. I looked at it the other day. It's 500,000, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think for all of them. I think the one song has like.
I'm just trying to figure out where the other 200,000 are coming from.
It sounds better. Shut the fuck up.
He has 500,000.
Okay. Yes. I checked this morning.
What would you make from that? Like, I'm gonna guess like $2,500.
I don't know, because once in a blue moon I'll go cash out my DistroKid. If there's some money in there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, most of those streams came in 2019 or no, 2020, 2019, 2020.
Right.
And so it's probably $1,500, $2,000.
Yeah, because I think I've made like $300 or something like that from music.
Yeah.
And I have like maybe 15,000 Spotify streams, which is obviously nothing.
Yeah.
But then like some buys, I guess. So it's very. I think it's like how many plays for a cent? I think it's like 4 plays a cent.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. 4 plays per penny.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like Spotify stream income is a lot. I view that a lot of the same way that I would view YouTube ad revenue for my YouTube channel. It's just not something that I lean on, but if I get 100, 200 a month, then that's great.
Right.
But it just takes so much volume to actually make good money if that's the main driver of the income. So usually you need something besides that if you actually want to. What are you doing, Cole? Now I'm invisible.
Smoking us out.
The visual aesthetics. Smoke it out. It's been fun, guys.
Well, this is a good way to end up in flames. I think.
Yeah.
Going out in smoke.
Yeah.
Pick up your microphone, Cole.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Anything? Check out Marcus on the Indie Music Lab.
Yes.
On the YouTubes.
Yes.
AZAP.
Go buy all my things.
Yeah, he's got a lot of. He's a really great teacher, and he knows a lot of stuff.
Yes.
And
even if you don't play music,
yeah, you gotta look at his face on the camera all the time. I guess that's a big drawback. But you can just kind of like listen.
Yeah, you could just put it off in the background while you're doing laundry or something. You know?
Yeah. Let the ads play the whole way through, so I get all the ad revenue. That'd be nice.
Exactly.
I'd appreciate it.
Don't skip it.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, heck yeah. Well, thanks for listening. If you did. One guy. All right. Good night.
All right, good night.
Good night.